Welcome back. Data privacy and consent issues are topmost in the mind of organizations today. While in many geographies, privacy and consent is well documented, but a few countries are going through new regulations. A case in point is India, where the new Digital Personal Data Protection or DPDP Act was passed in Parliament in August. While it's currently in the process of getting ratified, it is important for organizations to understand in general what constitutes legitimate use and the best practices for storing and processing personal data. While in India, there is no difference between personal, critical, or sensitive data, but there are steps that everyone needs to ensure compliances. Whosoever sources and stores the personal data, they become a data fiduciary or data controller, and it is their responsibility to not only specify what they are processing, but they also get the consent and ensure they've given adequate opt-out and data revocation provisions. There are some cases where you could also be a data processor, where the source of data is someone else, but you are processing it. In these cases, you have to take the appropriate steps for obtaining consent. One important point to notice and understand is that nothing is consented data if you're just buying it from a third party, as most regulatory frameworks have now defined legitimate use of data by a specific context and purpose to your company. Of course, you could purchase data that you get from a service provider and also get consent on your behalf. However, this is not possible if you're buying and downloading data from a SaaS platform. So let's delve a little deeper on the process of seeking consent from prospects prior to reaching out to them. The first step is knowing if a particular person, and especially if you're contacting them through telephonic means on their mobile, if they are on their country's do not disturb list. This information you seek from your data provider if they do profile it. Depending on what your status is, you might need to decide the best way to reach out to them and through which channel. Your opt-in and consent scripts need to be modified, and if they're landing on your domain through your inbound motions, there needs to be an adequate opt-out provisions provided. In some channels, example LinkedIn, the subjects have voluntarily provided the information on the platform, but your specific use case still needs to be articulated to the user. Last but not the least is to know how best practices of storing consent in your organization and act on it if revocation is called for. Thank you for watching this episode. Do reach out if you have any questions on any geography's specific regulatory framework and what type of data to procure for ensuring adequate consent. Stay tuned.